Oh, God. Oh, my neighbors are being annoying as hell. My stomach's upsetting. I'm getting a headache. Just all kinds of weird. The lights just hurt. It's all kinds of bad. I guess you could say I'm having una mala noche. God, that was bad. Okay, never mind. Nope, we're not. I'm just kind of get sick of doing these, trying to figure out these intros. I should just come in and just do the damn review and blah blah blah. But no, I gotta be unique. I gotta be something. I gotta give this channel something. But singing a song? Are you seriously? I can't think of a damn song for Mala Noche. I'm not gonna write a song. Too late. Anyway. Hello there, CriterioNate here, number 407. Gus Van Sant's Mala Noche, or Bad Night, or whatever they call it. 1985, 7-8 minutes, black and white, color, monaural, English and Spanish with subtitles, 133. All the things and all of the things. All right, this is our second Van Sant movie after my own private Idaho. I don't know if there's any more. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure that might be it, but of course Criterion will tell me otherwise. Van Sant. I think there was another one. My own private Idaho, Mala Noche, and yeah, there's just these two. So yeah. And of course he's made plenty more movies. In fact, I heard he's got a new one coming out next year called Don't Worry, He Can't Get Far on Foot or something like that. It's an interesting title. So yeah, but now today, Mala Noche, interesting movie. I do have a couple things to say about it. But yeah, so let's tell you all about it. So basically, it's based on an autobiographical novel called by the same name by the poet Walt Curtis, and it's about this gay guy named Walt who works at a convenience store. I guess it's supposed to be him, and he falls in love with this Mexican immigrant named Johnny. And Johnny isn't interested in Walt, and I guess Johnny's straight. But Walt really wants Johnny. He thinks he's the cutest guy ever. And so he'll go out. He goes out of his way to become really good friends with him, and Johnny keeps calling him the F word, in Spanish. And so I don't think Walt realizes it throughout the film. He knows, Walt knows like barely enough Spanish to get by, and I think he and Johnny barely communicate. Like he has a hard time communicating with Johnny. And so anyway, Johnny and his friends, one's Pepper. Walt wants to go back to their apartment, and he tells Pepper, I think, that he'll give him $15 to sleep with Johnny, and Johnny doesn't want any part of it. So they go up, and Walt and Pepper want to get in, and the landlady's like really strict, and so Pepper's locked out of his apartment. So Walt invites Pepper back to his apartment, and they sleep there, and after a while they start fooling around and they have sex. And the one thing to note, and it's a really trippy sex scene, to be fair. I don't really have anything to say about a gay sex scene, but it's definitely a really nicely lit one. The movie's in black and white for the most part, with the exception of I think the scene toward the end, the credits. But yeah, there's a lot of light and shadow, and you don't see penetration or anything, but it's just the way, a lot of it is up to, a lot of it is left a mystery as to what exactly was going on, but you see their bodies touching and their hands and all that. So it was an interesting, cool little technique, the lights from outside, and it's just kind of a neat trick or whatever. And yeah, that's basically, that's basically it. Walt, just sleeps with Pepper, and, meanwhile trying to get to Johnny, and, he gets frustrated with Pepper, and it's, because at one point, he tries to teach Pepper how to drive a car, and he ends up wrecking the thing because he doesn't listen to him. And I'm trying to remember what else happens. It's all kind of blurs together. At one point, Walt Curtis is in the movie. According to the interview, apparently, I guess Gus Van Sant had asked Walt if he wanted to play himself in the movie, and Walt Curtis wasn't too interested in the idea, so I think he's like, all right, I'll get somebody else to play it. But he does have, Curtis does have a small cameo as one of Walt's friends, George, I think, in the movie. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, the movie basically goes on. At one point, Pepper gets in trouble with the law. Both Pepper and Johnny get in trouble with the law. At one point, Johnny runs away, and people think, I guess they think he moved to Idaho or ran away to Idaho or something. Where I forget, where is it set? It's set in Oregon, yeah. That's where, because that's where Van Sant is set, and I think that's also where Curtis is from. So so Johnny runs away, so he spends more and more time with Pepper. And at one night, Pepper is hiding out in Walt's apartment, and the police come looking for Pepper, and Walt's walking home, and he notices the police, and I guess they end up chasing Pepper down to a window in the apartment, and they shoot him, and he falls out of a window and dies. And so Walt, comes home and is cradling him and all that. Johnny shows up at Walt's apartment looking for him. They catch up, and when he realizes that when Johnny realizes that Pepper's dead, Walt, Pepper wants, Johnny leaves. There's only 3 main characters in this, and Johnny leaves and carves, the F word in Spanish on his door. And at the same time, Walt doesn't seem to give up. Walt just really wants this boy, and it's a little weird. I think, and I don't know, part of it is you can't really force yourself on someone if they don't, I don't know how to feel about someone who forces himself on someone, as if something will change, as one person can change your, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how sexuality works, I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know, being straight myself, but I've always believed that if you are gay, then you realize that it's inside of you. It's not necessarily something that someone can change in you. I mean, maybe, So Walt's forcefulness got a little annoying after a while. And you could tell, obviously, Johnny has no sexual interest in this guy. I guess they're friends, they're kind of friends, but that's as far as they keep it, And even then, I don't think Johnny really gives two shits about Walt. So yeah, it's a really weird relationship they have. The movie ends with Walt seeing Johnny on the street and saying something about just wanting to invite him up. So I think nothing really changes. Nothing really changes in their relationship. But Walt is kind of just delusional. I think he might be a little delusional. If you guys have seen this and you interpreted the movie differently, please let me know. But that's just my interpretation. I think Walt's pushiness got a little aggravating for me personally, especially considering two different sexualities are concerned in this movie, and so I don't know. Now, I mean, him getting together with Pepper, obviously, that's a whole other thing. But the fact that and maybe it's because Walt didn't know that he was calling him the F word in Spanish. I don't know. But maybe, you think that would deter him, but, maybe, love does crazy things, makes people do crazy things and all that stuff. So anyway, that's all I really have to say about the movie. Although, there's one little note I want to mention. at one point, Pepper, and I'm wondering if Criterion, I wonder if it's, see, they didn't put the booklet in this copy that I got, and I really want to see the booklet because there's one scene where Pepper is going through Walt's record collection, and you can see he puts on an Apple Records label, and I guess it's supposed to be the Beatles, and I thought, oh, the Beatles. But the Beatles doesn't play. It plays some classical music. And at the end of the credits, it says Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band played. And that makes me wonder they couldn't get the rights to this. Because, you know, the Beatles are one of the most impossible people to get for a soundtrack. There's a Doctor Who serial called The Chase, where there's a clip of the Beatles playing on Top of the Pops on Ticket to Ride, which, by the way, is actually, because of that episode, because of the existence of the Doctor Who episode, is the only clip of, that's the only clip of the Beatles on Top of the Pops that still exists. That little segment from there, you know. So, you know, God bless Doctor Who, you know, for throwing that in, and the people for having it in the archives and all that. But yeah, so I tried to look everywhere online for any kind of information as to, you know, because I didn't hear any Beatles unless I was just like, it was in like way background, you know. But I thought that, you know, I figured that, you know, he puts the record on. So I'm wondering if Criterion had to censor out the Beatles song, but I can't find anything on it. If anybody knows, please let me know down in the comments, because I'd really love to know the mystery behind that. And I'll see if I can try and get a different copy of it, one with the booklet, because maybe it's explained in the booklet, but it's not explained anywhere on the thing. You know, you'd think that would be something that Criterion would let us know about. Due to licensing rights, we could not get the lyrics to the scene where Pepper puts on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band or something like that. That's the kind of stuff that, you know, you think Criterion would let us know about. But again, maybe in the booklet. I don't have it in this package. It's just the disc, you know. So anyway, yeah, so that's all I got for that. Mala Noche, not a bad film. Walt's a little annoying. I definitely think I liked, I think the editing was a little choppy, a little too choppy for my taste too. I liked My Own Private Idaho a lot better, much better than Mala Noche. Mostly because I think the story holds up a little better, and I think a lot of what happens in that movie is it just feels like a much better movie than Mala Noche. Obviously, this was Van Sant's directorial debut, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, you know. But that being said, you know, if I had to make a choice, I'd go with the more professional My Own Private Idaho, just because, you know, he had a couple of movies under his belt by that point. Actually, I think only one, which was Drugstore Cowboy. I think was it Drugstore Cowboy? I don't even remember. Yeah, only Drugstore Cowboy from 1989, and then he did My Own Private Idaho, and then a bunch of other movies. So yeah, Mala Noche. What do we give it? It wasn't too bad. I'll give it I give it an A minus. A minus. It was good. I did like the movie. It's not one that I'm going to pick up anytime soon, but I think, and again, I've mentioned, you know, Walt's character was kind of, I don't know how I feel about Walt, but it was still an interesting idea. It was a really interesting idea, so get A minus. Supplements. There's an interview, a new 25-minute interview with Gus Van Sant, where he talks about making the movie. There's an hour-long documentary called Walt Curtis, the Peckerneck Poet. It was a documentary about Walt Curtis where he follows him around, he reads his poetry, and that motherfucker's crazy. I'm sorry, that dude's just yelling his shit. You know, I guess a lot of poets are like that, but jumping around with naked men and all that, and hugging and kissing, making out with witches and stuff. I'm like, good for you. Valiant Blowjob, or whatever the hell the name of the poem was. So yeah, I was just kind of well, okay. You know, you do you, man. You know, that's you. So, anyway, it's interesting if you like. I mean, I thought it might be more of a, you know, I never know how to feel about those movies that aren't like autobiographical. You know, I wouldn't mind knowing the stories. You know, that's why like I've been spoiled by the Martha Graham documentary I saw yesterday. So, you know, seeing this one, which is just a free form, you know, documentary about his life, it's like, well, okay. And so yeah. So anyway, there's also the storyboard gallery and trailer, and that's basically it. So. Yeah, not bad. Mala Noche, A-. If you like Van Sant's work, this is pretty good. And, yeah, so that's it for today. That is it for me. That's it for me today. We're not done. Well, I'm done. Brother Eclipser is on its way. He's on his way soon. He's working on Blood Wedding as we speak. And, we will, in fact, I swiped the case from him. Blood Wedding there. And so that will be what is next. And so yeah, so I'll be back on probably Tuesday for this thing. I'll do this Tuesday. Just eye twitch, you know. And then Wednesday, I may be taking the day off. I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty short. We may get this done on Wednesday. I'd love to get this done on Wednesday because it seems pretty short. It's only a 94-minute movie. Depends on how much time I have before work, which how busy I am. We'll see. Yeah, there's not much in the way of the movie or the supplements. So if they're not packing them on, then I'll see what happens. Probably find some time for that. And then, but definitely that Wednesday, and then probably, yeah, this will probably be Thursday. I'd like to do that. I'm going to try my damnedest to do this Wednesday so that I can do this Thursday because I have work on Friday. So, and I don't really want to do this Saturday night. So, yeah, but anyway, for now, we will do, so the eclipse is coming in a little bit later. As I mentioned before, we've got plenty of time today. So, in a little while, you will see the Blood Wedding. Next is Blood Wedding, and then tomorrow, Carmen. Monday, El Amor Brujo. And that's it. That'll be it for the first Eclipse series. And then we'll figure out the rest later. And again, I need to put a hold. That's right. I need to put a hold on the next couple because we need to get crack-a-lackin' on those. Sawdust and Tinsel, Drunken Angel, Tulane Blacktop. Again, as I mentioned before in my last video, Berlin Alexander Platz. I'm probably not going to be able to get to that one. I want to do that one all the way through, and I've got a lot of stuff coming up soon. So that probably won't be going on until about, I'd say, the 14th, the 15th or so. Yeah, mid-November we'll get to that one. Because I want to have time to like nail out, do a disc a day, and really summarize my thoughts on each episode of that series. And yeah. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't censor the. Don't let the I guess for the Beatles, whoever owns the Beatles music, EMI or Michael Jackson's estate or whatever, or Paul, let the Beatles in the movies. Come on, seriously, do it. And don't try to make people fall in love with you if they don't like you. Just like don't fight yourself to be loved. Because love is out there for you. It's obsession is kind of a weird thing. I don't know what to really say about it. But anyway, yeah. And do I have anything else? Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you all so very much. And the Eclipser will see you a little later for Blood Wedding. And until then, and I will see you all tomorrow. I'll see you guys all on Tuesday for, yeah. So anyway, until then, goodbye.